Hey, thanks for tuning in. Super excited for you to watch this exclusive interview that I had with Dr. Paul Reed on my Instagram Live, where we dive into his story about different obstacles that he has faced and overcome and what he has used to be able to overcome them. So this is a great opportunity for you to really just dive in, take some notes, and really learn from this powerful entrepreneur, author, speaker, life coach who helps Christian men become unstoppable.
Hey, Dr. Paul, what's up, brother? Hey,
What's up, buddy?
how's it going?
It is any better, I'd be you.
You better. Oh, man, flattering me already.
Is my sound okay? Should I put my
You
headphones
sound
on
good.
instead?
No, yep, you're good. You're good. Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you bright and
Sweet.
clear. So awesome. So for those of
Awesome.
you who do not know Dr. Paul, he's an incredible chiropractor. Like he has 5 offices that are just making a huge impact in Washington. He's an entrepreneur, author, speaker, life coach. He's helping Christian men become unstoppable. Like he is just on fire for God and just really just has unlocked his God-given potential and is continually striving to do so. And so I'm super excited. Thank you so much, man, for
No,
being here. This is
no,
awesome.
no. Thank you. Awesome. Excited to take this venture. As I said, this is my first live interacting with somebody, so I'm,
Yeah.
I'm learning something new here myself, and honored that
Yes.
you'd like to have me on to serve your community. So thanks, brother. Yeah.
Awesome. This is awesome. Cool. Well, yeah. So let's dive right into it. So as far as
Yeah.
your calling, your purpose, what you feel like God has really placed on your life to do and show
Yeah.
up as. Go ahead and describe that. Like, what is your calling? You feel like?
Man, I think that evolves and changes as we grow and evolve as men or as Christians, period, whether male or female. Early on in my career as a chiropractor, I knew that I was supposed to be a chiropractor and serve the masses through the principled chiropractic. But man, honestly, the last 7 years, he's been tugging me towards serving men. I think there's a
Mm,
need for men to really we need to step up. We need to fulfill God's call for men in this on this worldly planet, right?
yeah.
And he's just been working on me in preparation to do so the last couple of years. And so it's really just, I think it comes down to listening. I think people a lot of times get so hyper focused on the things that they want, which is great, but they're not listening at the same time and being
Mm,
self-aware of those silent voices that are giving you nudges or tugs or messages. Essentially, is what it comes right down to, and
yeah.
just listening. I mean, it really comes down to listening. So
Listening. That's huge. There's something I love this. You bringing that up, just this concept of really like partnering with God and bringing
mm,
Him into your decisions, really dreaming with Him.
amen.
And I definitely see that and understand. I feel like there's a lot of times where we get super, yeah, hyper focused on what we want instead of really
Yeah,
inviting God into the situation and like really like I love that when you take delight in the Lord, He gives you the desires of your heart.
yeah.
Like, but you take delight in the Lord, you put Him first, put Him at the center, and He's going to craft your desires like Him. And so I just
Yay and
love
amen.
that aspect. Yeah.
That's exactly
So
exactly.
so you mentioned about 6 or 7 years ago, right? Like you
Yeah,
felt this nudge. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, you're a chiropractor for a super long time
yeah.
and
25
bringing
years.
all
Yep, yep.
25
Yeah,
years and then
yeah.
6 or 7. So what was that point where it was like you responded to the nudge? Did you feel like there was a nudge before that at all?
Well, not to serve men.
Yeah.
That's been within the last, like I said, 6 or 7 years. But it was really just, um, again, listening. Like, there's more, Paul. There's more for you. Your impact's
Uh,
going to be greater. And listen. Not and at the beginning, didn't even know what that was, to be honest. But again, just being disciplined, obedient, right? Willing and obedient. And so, being willing, having an open heart, and listening to what I felt like he was saying, and then obedient, like just keep doing the things that you know to be true and right, as he's crafting, and just as you mentioned, he's crafting and preparing you for what's next. Like, we don't know, we really don't know what's next, and it's just all about crafting, and he's shaping and forming and preparing us, for our next, and really, so that, and I honestly believe that's my next, is to serve men at the highest level. And I have a group now, but it's really I think I'm just touching the surface of the impact that he wants me to make on the planet. So
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So what was the point like when you responded to that nudge 6 or 7 years ago? What were you going through? What did that nudge look like?
Honestly, I think it was me knowing in my heart that there was more service in me. Like I don't want to say that I felt like I was at my capacity and my reach with the clinics, but just I felt like I've been blessed beyond belief, and I feel like it's my responsibility, or I was feeling like it was my responsibility to share some of those things that how I'd gotten to where I was, and the disciplines and obedience that it took to get to that place. And so I think it was really that just the nudge, like there's more for you, there's more for you, there's more for you to do, while you're here, and just again, I'm trying to be open and obedient to that nudge or that message or that call on your heart. So
Yeah, that's big. That's big. And I know, you really teach upon like the five, the foundational five,
yeah,
right? Like, so faith, family, fitness,
finance and
and
fun. Finance
finances
could be
and fun.
career. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So like, when you talk about like having, a responsibility, um, to responding to that nudge, um,
mm-hmm.
I feel like there's an aspect of like stewardship, involved in that
Yeah,
process where he's given you these certain gifts. He's given you these
mm-hmm.
certain unique abilities to be able to serve, to steward. And I think you mentioning just is a really big kind of point for people listening, in the aspect of like, God has given each individual one of us like specific gifts, right? And skills for us
Yeah,
to really have a responsibility to steward and step
yeah.
into. And I really love how you identify like the foundational five. Like,
Yeah.
um, can you talk a little bit about that? Yeah, with
No,
that.
I mean, those are, and those are things that just grew on me as I matured as a man, as a Christian, as a father, as a husband, as a businessman, right? Like those are
Yeah,
just things that I, paid a lot of dummy tax to figure out, like lots of lessons, lots of coaches in my life,
yeah,
lots of great friends. But yeah, so I think, above and for me, first and foremost, faith needs to be at the foundation of everything. Second being my family. So that really needs to be next. And that's the way my order of precedence is faith and family, and then fitness, being that if you're sick or dead or whatever, you're no good to God, you're no good to your family, you're no good to your community, you're no good to your church, you're no good to anybody. It's like you need to take care of your vessel that God blessed you with, so that you in turn can bless others that are in your life.
that's huge.
Then obviously, yeah, and then obviously career finances, like being responsible, you're being a good steward, which you brought up, a good steward with what you've been given. And then, we gotta have fun, right? Like we're on this planet for a short stint, and you gotta have fun, gotta be spontaneous. You gotta have experiences that you'll remember, and create experiences for your family that they'll remember, and whatnot. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. That's awesome. And I love that. And it's so simple, like the foundational five, like that's
Yeah.
so simple to grasp too. And I really like how, just emphasizing the fitness aspect, and
Yeah.
how he's given us this vessel. And I always imagine like Paul in the Bible was just like this fit dude, and how he talks like just crazy fit, because he talks about just becoming a master over your body, and not
Yeah.
allowing your body to master you. And I feel like that's I always think
And,
of that when I think of fitness, like Paul just like
and
ripped.
right.
Well,
And I
yeah,
just worked through that with my coach today. Yeah. Right. Ah!
yeah,
So, my coach and I today just talked about that, how my spiritual coach, business coach, or we're gonna call him, just on how the physical component of life, like those that are disciplined with exercise, and have a rhythm or a routine to taking care of themselves. He says that it's the how did he phrase it? It's the source, it's the way to disciplines in all area of your life. Like if you're physically disciplined, your spiritual discipline increases,
mm,
your discipline with your family increases. Just it's one of the hardest things is to be consistently physically disciplined with your nutrition and your movement patterns and whatnot. And so we were speaking today on a lesson on like the more physically disciplined you are, it opens up. It's the portal. That's the word. He says physical discipline was the portal to all other disciplines and success in all areas. So if you can be disciplined and successful physically with your nutrition and getting your movement patterns, it's the portal opening up all sorts of other opportunities in all other areas. So
that's big. That's big. That's huge. I love that. Just value drop,
right?
mic drop. That's really good. So yeah, it's coming through with your story and really stepping into your calling. Like what? Because obviously, whenever you make that initial decision to be obedient, obviously there are times of attack and times of resistance, especially when it's the enemy knows it's something great that you're stepping into. So what was that like for you when you stepped into that calling?
Man, and to be honest, I experienced some of it yesterday. I worked through with my coach on that, because it is like the closer we get to our calling, the closer to the impact that we're fulfilling God's will for our lives and making and saving lives and making an impact, the stronger the devil wants to attack you. And I had some of that yesterday. Like, dude, what you just like making me uncertain of my path and challenging my thought. And so get, and that's something that I think that spiritual warfare is stronger now more than ever. With it's pretty prevalent. You have to have your eyes closed and not see what's going on, right? So and not listening. You're not listening or seeing anything if you don't see what's going on. And so I think those that are leading are going to be under more attack. And I think it's that much more responsibility for us to be disciplined in who we are as men of God to withstand, right? Make sure our shield, our armor's up and prepared for those attacks, because I think we're going to see them, as the days move forward. I think we're going to see them more than ever.
Yeah, that's huge. And I love, so there's two things that you mentioned that I just want to hit on that's really huge. The fact that you have a coach, like you're a coach yourself. The importance of having a coach to be able to help you in those moments to continue to grow and to continue to strive and step into your calling and fulfill what God really has destined for you, so that those fears don't chain you down. I think that's huge. The type of support that you get with that is it's incredible. And I think a lot of people don't realize, the aspect is if they want to, go alone, they can go fast, but if they want to go farther, go together, get somebody in your corner that's going to help build you and lift you up because they can see from that outside in perspective. And I know you're a college athlete, all about sports, and you love the Cougs.
Right.
Yeah. So, just the importance of that coaching perspective of,
and it honestly, and it expedites you. Like if you can find somebody that's done something or is doing something that you feel that is within your heart to do, like that person's already, they've already, like I said, they've paid the dummy tax. They got beat up. They spent extra amount of money. Use them to shortcut, right? Your expedite, speed up that learning curve for you to get you closer to where you want to be in your desires. And it's really the consistent, persistent pursuit, right? The more consistent we are, the more persistent we are to ourselves and our calling, the faster we're going to get there. And so really just and it's accountability, right? So coach is going to keep you accountable, because we are human. Like some days it's easier to want to slide and not do what you're supposed to do. But when you have a call or, whatever's coming up, a message is coming up, like the accountability factor is like, it's priceless, like in life. Like somebody to keep you accountable for your goals and your dreams and your desires is priceless to get to where you want to go. So
that's huge. So so get a coach. Coach is the best. That's incredible. And then you also mentioned that just looking at putting on the full armor of God. Do you have any sort of suggestions where like for men or anyone listening, really, where some ideas that they can do that first thing when they start their day?
Man, I quiet time. I think seeing, I'm a big advocate of seeing your day before the day. Like if you can really see what you want to accomplish, what the things that you need to get done, the things that you want to get done, the things that you have to get done. Like if you're seeing those things in advance, right? What we think about, we bring about, we're going to, again, expedite getting those accomplished. And the less drama, the less, the less ability for him to attack us if we're prepared. Like if you've prepared, you've already seen it, you've mentally accomplished those things. You're gonna go in a straight line instead of like, oh, I'm gonna wander over here and then go, oh shoot, I got to go back over there. And so again, it's gonna speed up that process. So I think the first and foremost is quiet time, seeing your day before your day, prayer, listening, and then again taking action. Like that's the key to success is taking massive action, really. So
yes, definitely love it. That's awesome. I love that. Just I'm taking notes here. If anyone's watching and you're not taking notes, take some notes. Just see your day before the day. That's really big. So when I'm kind of curious, and maybe this just might be a little bit of just your history being a college athlete and experiencing coaches in your life. I mean, it kind of seems like consistently throughout your life, you've had coaches to be able to help you grow in certain areas of your life, right?
Yeah, I have in every area as far back as I can remember. I can't even, maybe it'd be a good exercise for me is to actually calculate what I've spent on coaches. But I literally hired my first business coach, whom as soon as I got done with chiropractic school, I went to a seminar, paid to go to the seminar, and I met this man. And I'm like, he has accomplished and done the things that I want to do in regards to chiropractic. I want to be like that guy, or a little bit like that guy. Or I want that guy's influence in my life or in my practice. And so flat broke, hadn't opened my doors, was taking a loan to build out the clinic, and got liens on the car and house and all that stuff. And I went to the training, came home and told Heidi, I'm like, hey, I met this guy, I'm going to coach with him, but I need you to help. We need to send 12 predated or post-dated checks to mail to his house for me to coach. And so writing out 12 checks, right? Like 750 times 12, just over and over and over again. But it was the best thing I had ever done. And I've never, I don't think there's ever been a period of time. If there was, it's for just a couple of months that I've never not had a coach, whether it's a business coach, a headspace coach, a pastor that's coach. I think we need them again in our lives for encouragement, support, accountability. Again, dummy tax. They've paid it. They've learned it. They've done it. And I think that there's a lot of coaches out there. And I think you need to find somebody that you resonate with. First, they've done what you want to do. So a lot of times there's people coaching that really are coaching without having had the past successes in certain areas of their life. I think you see a lot more of that today. But finding somebody that's done what you want to do, or they're where you want to go, and then somebody you resonate with. We all have different personality traits. We get along with people differently. And so find somebody that you can, that when you get off the phone or Zoom or whatever you're doing, that you feel energized and ready to go.
Yeah.
That's a signal that, like, hey, I resonate with that person. They elevate who I am as a human being. They raise my spirit up, and that's a signal that, hey, this is a good thing. I want to work with that person. So
that's big. That's nice. That's awesome. So that's just really highlighting for everyone listening. Like, for coaching, that doesn't necessarily, obviously have to be about business. Like if you're wanting to grow your faith life, you're wanting to grow your health, you're wanting to grow your relationships, your marriage, like getting a marriage coach, like look at different areas of your life that, seem like you really want to improve upon, and find the right person, like you're saying, find the right person, really resonate with, and that has been through things in a fast track to be able to fast track you to get to where you want to get to. So that's really big. That's awesome. So what would you say, do you believe is the most common kind of failure for others not really stepping into their calling and stepping into their purpose?
I honestly think that we good? My stuff working? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole desert scenario, right? Like we're learning in the desert. We've come out of Egypt because we're doing it the wrong way. We feel like we're wanting to get to the promised land, but we're in that desert and we're taking more laps. Like and we can't see, people. And a great book is Gap versus Gain by Dan Sullivan. And a lot of times we get so stuck in what he calls the gap, where we're looking backward or looking forward and like, I haven't gotten over that gap. I'm not where I want to be. So we get frustrated with where we're at instead of looking back like, man, I've had so many victories, so many successes. Like God is prepping me, God is moving me, God is preparing me for what's next. But a lot of times I think, so asking directly the questions, we can't see what we've already done, and we're not where we want to be or we feel God wants us. So we're frustrated, and a lot of times people quit. Like, you know, you were one step away from accomplishment or success, and you stopped because you couldn't see the finish line. You're like, no, I'm done. I've been doing this for however long, weeks, months, years. And we give up. We get short-sighted instead of staying in it for the long game, knowing that, again, you are being prepared. It's just like your health journey, right? Like, you've had tremendous health journey going where you were years ago to where you're at now. And that didn't happen overnight, right? It was a process of time. All processes take time. And so being willing, obedient, and disciplined with those things to get you knowing what's right and what's true and what's just, and sticking to it. And like, again, the consistent, persistent pursuit of where you want to go, and knowing that you're doing the right thing. So
That's big. That's cool. And as you're talking about that, what kind of stands out to me is just kind of like that saying of really enjoying the process of the journey, like celebrating those victories, those little wins that we might not be able to see, but somebody can, you know, easily identify those. Like, hey, look where you were, and look where you're at today. Like, you're still making steps.
And celebrating those builds momentum, right? There's a whole chemistry change inside your body when you celebrate your victories. Like, we just get so stuck in like, I'm not there, like I want X, but we forget, like, well, we've done, like, what the heck, look what I've done. And so when you recognize those and honor yourself for being disciplined to getting through that thing or doing those things, it changes your chemistry, your hormones, which makes you want to do more. And so really it's we need to celebrate our victories and our successes, and give thanks for those things, right? Again, that's the other thing, is we're not thankful or grateful for those things that we've been blessed with, because we're so focused on where we want to go next, or where we think the end line is. But there really is, in life, there's no end line. It's just a different direction and story that we're moving towards. So
yeah, that's big. That's big. So with that, like, so, you know, stuck entrepreneur in the desert, or, you know, stuck in business, stuck in life, what would you say would be a good way, whether that's perspective or just a simple little shift that somebody can use to really help them just create that little momentum? What's a good little strategy or something that could be helpful for that?
So I think setting achievable victories or achievable goals. Like, you know, sometimes we'll set such a bit, granted, I'm a big goal fan. Like, you have to have them, but you have to have intermediate steps so that you can see that you're making progress towards where you want to go. And so I think setting those, you know, short 1 week goals, 2 week goals, 3 week goals, and seeing yourself accomplish those things, because it's just a step in the process in the ladder, right? It's another rung in the ladder to get you where you want to go. But we will take 10 steps on that ladder, you know, and we won't recognize that we've accomplished those 9 or 10 steps. And so I think it's setting small victories, and again, acknowledging those victories to help, you know, just like, dude, I got this. Like, I'm better than I think. I can accomplish this. So
that's huge. That's awesome. That's big. That's really big. Awesome. Cool. So, kind of last little question, kind of wrapping up here. I love this. So just like looking at, you know, putting you in a time machine, right? Like, time machine, you know, you literally have all the skills, all the knowledge, all the wisdom that you have right now. And this was to your former self, like 7 years ago. What would be the thing that you would say to that former self of you? Like, this is where you should start. This is the one thing I want you to do right now.
You know, there's too many. You only want one? I think, honestly, bud, it's have confidence in yourself, knowing that you are moving in the right direction. Because I think whether you want to call it, you know, I'll say it's the devil attacking you, or, you know, a lot of people, it's coined today as imposter syndrome, you know, where you don't think that you're good enough. But I think that's really not, the imposter is the devil, right? It's just him attacking you and your belief and your confidence in who you are, because he knows you're a mover and a shaker and you need to get stuff done, right? When he's you know, I can't remember the statement about, but something when your feet hit the ground in the morning, you know, the devil's just say, oh crap, he's up, right? Like, 'cause he knows that you're going to be getting stuff done. And so I think if I could go back, I would coach myself again to have more confidence and belief in my abilities, because God has prepared me, or prepared whomever, just to have confidence and belief in who you are, and keep moving, and don't let the quote unquote imposter syndrome, or the devil, in my opinion, attack you and try and minimize who you are.
That is awesome. That's huge. Well, that's big. That's major value. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother.
That's
Thank you.
huge. Yeah. So this is awesome. Yeah, we're wrapping up here. I really appreciate you being on here, man. This has just been incredible, and just understanding more of your journey.
And you're amazing stuff. So hats off to you, man. Watching your journey and watching you grow and make an impact. It's awesome. So
thanks, brother.
I'm proud. Your parents are proud. Yeah. So great job.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, really appreciate that. Awesome.
Yeah,
well, so as far as the best place, you know, besides Instagram, you know, if you're a Christian man, really looking to just take that next step, what would be the best way to get in touch with you besides Instagram?
You know, I think so. My website, drpaulreed.com,
Awesome.
is an easy way, or the Unstoppable Man coaching program is in my bio up on my Instagram page. So
awesome, cool. Dr. Paul Reed, the Unstoppable Man. Heck yes, that's awesome. I love it.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Well, yeah, super grateful once again that you're on here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been incredible. Really appreciate all the value you've given to us, man. Just it's been awesome.
Sweet. Well, thanks for having me. Keep on keeping on the world.
Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. And have an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll connect soon.
As I like to finish, make today better than yesterday.
Yes. Awesome.
Awesome. All right, man. Bye.